I don't know what I'm doing, so I'm recording it. So this is the thing. Fuck, I meant to. He finally did it. He can make that all team. A team consisting entirely of gods if you wanted to now. All Archon team. The update on the story is so goddamn slow. I think they wanted to finish at exactly New Year's Eve or something. This team would be stronger with Nahida. Or Kole. Since the Faruzan. Anyway. I wanna try Morning Long. Although I like having Pyro on the team, I wanna try out Canvas.
What's wrong?
I won't
Are
have
you in danger?
I won't have a bow, but that hopefully won't be a problem. Actually,
Leave it to me.
it's been a while since I used Dion as well. Well, first things first. Oh, that's pretty busted. Should I try? I don't wanna risk lessening my chances. Getting Yao Yao though. Huh. E6 would be amazing. Huh.
Ad Astra Abbott.
This sucks. How lovely. Let me get my stuff from the trials.
There is no escape!
frostbite.
Hey, yeah! Inazuma shines eternal! Ha! Illusion shattered!
This moment will be frozen in time.
Ready, steady, go! Eat this! Torn to oblivion!
Cascade. Kamisato art. Suiyu.
Hey, yeah! Out of the frying pan, into the fire!
Cool it. Don't get frostbite.
I really don't like his attack animations at all. It feels really awkward to use. Rosario is on her own.
Yeah! Ha! Ha! Fa! Ha! Ha! Fa! Sa! Ha! Ha! Fa! Lights out. Judgment. Ha! Hit. Sa! Hit. Ha! Ha! Sa! Hit.
Are you kidding me?
Shiver.
How do you do that, Rosario?
Yeah. Ha! Yeah.
Oh boy, a new terrible writing advice video.
Freeze.
Nice and spicy.
Oh man, I broke it trying to take it apart. Oh well, I guess I'll do a video on deconstruction instead. Deconstruction is when a writer story. This can range from taking apart a specific trope
so
to show
sorry.
how it really
Dodge
worked in
this.
real life, deconstructing a character archetype to showcase an unexplored aspect of them, or disassembling an entire genre of fiction. It's also an annoying buzzword that is overused on the internet to describe anything that's even mildly subversive of its original genre. Stories that focus on
This moment
deconstruction
will be
can some of
frozen.
the best that fiction has to offer. They can also be stupid, pretentious, and completely miss the point of the very thing they're deconstructing. Thankfully, that will happen if you follow my helpful guide on writing deconstructions. Now, the most important thing to remember is that a writer should deconstruct something because they either hate it or want to show off how smart they are. The worst thing a writer can do is deconstruct
Don't get
something because they
frostbite.
want to tell a story. Rest assured that no audience member wants to enjoy a good story and is purely there because I want to show off how much smarter I am than J.R.R. Tolkien. See, he used a bunch of fantasy tropes, so I'm going to tear them down and build myself up. You know, like a bully. Wait, no, like a genius. I'll just point out how fantasy stuff doesn't exist. Checkmate, Tolkien. Consider your entire legacy deconstructed. This smarter-than-you attitude is essential when deconstructing stories. Dedicated fandoms love it when an upstart writer tears down their favorite works for petty spite. If they react badly to my deconstruction, well, I'll just call them unintelligent rubes who fail to appreciate my galaxy brain evisceration of their favorite genre. Now that I've put all the dissenting opinions in their place, I can move on to the important task of writing the deconstruction itself. This is done by taking the object of my deconstruction and making it dark. Endlessly, pointlessly, self-indulgently dark. Deconstructions are always dark and there's no other way to do it. Remember that the point of a deconstruction is to take something apart and show how it works. Since I lack any imagination and my entire perception of reality comes from social media, video games, and crappy anime, the only way I can imagine something working from a realistic perspective is to make it as dark and twisted as possible. This is as easy as always assume the worst about human nature and just pretend that empathy doesn't exist.
Grant us your blessing. Don't waste my time. It's nothing.
Deconstruction is basically ready to go. Right? Wrong. Amateur mistake. A writer can't simply make their deconstruction dark. No, they need to make the story edgy too. Deconstruct the violence in an action scene to show how brutal, quick, and awful it is? No, we gotta stylize and revel in the work's brutality. Nothing says realistic deconstruction of every kind of violence quite like the sense that the author is into that kind of thing. Remember that only the author is allowed to have fun in a deconstruction, otherwise fun isn't allowed. If something is fun, then it's not a deconstruction at all. Fun doesn't exist in real life after all, so I don't know why it would make its way into my deconstruction. Now that I've driven all the fun from my story in a storm of edgy grimdark, what am I going to specifically deconstruct in my story? Now, a writer has a lot of choices. In fact, they could easily just stick to deconstructing a single trope or cliche if they wanted. A writer could take apart a character archetype. Some works tear apart entire genres or even provide meta-commentary on fiction itself. But a writer might as well go for broke and just deconstruct everything they can get their hands on, no matter how thin it stretches the story out. Remember, the story isn't as important as making a point. For example, what if I wanted to deconstruct the Chosen One character archetype? Could the stress of their Chosen One status drive them into despair? What about using the Chosen One's fame to explore parasocial relationships? What if the Chosen One's humble origin leaves them completely unprepared to handle the high-stakes political maneuvering that occurs around them? Could one or more of these have finally driven the Chosen One into becoming the villain? No, the best way to deconstruct the Chosen One is to make them evil for no good reason, or make everyone else around them evil for no good reason. Deconstructed. Now, what if I wanted to deconstruct my setting's evil empire? Could I dig into the incompetent hierarchy to show how the empire's poor management is what caused the rebellion in the first place? What about showing its corruption and how it erodes the empire's power base from within? Is the reason the Empire loses to the inferior rebel forces because the Emperor kills all of his generals for failure, resulting in critical brain drain? Again, these require too much thought. Instead, I'll deconstruct the evil Empire cliche by having a couple of guys in the Empire be okay dudes or something. See? Now it's all shades of gray, complex, deep. Or at least that's what I'll call it. Deconstructed. What about if I wanted to deconstruct an individual trope like the dungeon crawl adventure? Could I do this by emphasizing how expensive it is in terms of tools, time, and talent? Could I show the struggles of dungeon divers to stay out of the red while showing just how unsustainable financially dungeon crawling is in the long run? Could I show another side of dungeon crawling by having the adventurers confronted by angry people accusing them of stealing cultural artifacts? Could I have a character detail the dungeon's fragile ecosystem? Could I show that the decaying, unstable, crumbling dungeon architecture itself is just as dangerous, if not more so, than the shores and monsters?
Too easy.
Adventurers was
Think you can bully me? Can't handle your drink. Huh. Drop.
How about instead I tackle deconstructing an entire
Your
genre
life
like
is mine.
military science fiction? Slice of life elements in art by some
Don't waste my time.
using unglorified violence with the political affordable rule. Main characters begin to realize that they can
Hear my prayer. Flee.
expose the often contradictory and troubling underlying political messages that military science fiction students
Give up.
defense contractors dispel the glamour associated with war machines by showing just how
Submit.
development arms procurement, captains use white phosphorus in college today. I'll just make everything about war all the time.
You're exposed.
Make everything about war all the
Starfall.
time. Deconstructed. As you can see, deconstruction is pretty easy. Did I not actually deconstruct anything? Did I not actually dig down and take it apart to show the audience how it really works? See, that
It's
doesn't
nothing.
matter. Everyone else is running deconstructions, so I want to jump off that bandwagon to show everyone just how smart I run. Besides, it's not like anyone else on our bandwagon is like
Give up.
so that means I'm not already excused from actually deconstructing anything. Instead, I just want to use the label to make myself look edgy and transgressive, even as we turn out the same slop as everyone else is doing.
Too easy.
It's like
Shake it and stir.
your genre. I mean,
It's nothing.
This is all about the deconstruction cycle that most genres go through. When it comes to genres, over time, certain popular works establish the conventions of a genre. Those conventions become commonplace in subsequent inspired works to the point of becoming cliches. Eventually, the genre becomes saturated in wannabes and plagued with cliches. Finally, a new work comes out in the genre that takes apart all the cliches in a compelling way. A deconstruction, if you will. This deconstruction then inspires a host of imitators of dubious quality, as the deconstruction has set the genre's new conventions. Eventually, these new
They just
conventions
wanna
become
go back to the
cliche
classic.
and are finally deconstructed themselves, or
Yes.
the genre becomes reconstructed into its original form. Thus, the cycle starts over. That's why writers should jump in there ASAP. Gotta be the next one to set the trend. And it's so easy to. All you need to do is subvert the audience's expectations just a little, and someone on the internet will call it a deconstruction. Since the two are interchangeable, it makes it easy to claim the label of deconstruction, even if not a single cliche is taken apart and interrogated in the entire story. Even if a writer doesn't care about the label, then there's always another reason to engage in deconstructing a part of a story. Petty spite. Hatred is an excellent creative guide, and in general is very
Nice.
useful for making calm, informed, and unbiased decisions. Using hatred and spite as the sole source of motivation won't lead to things like over-deconstruction. That's when a writer takes something apart a bit too much. For example, showing a medieval European-inspired fantasy setting that is so dark, dingy, disease-ridden, and awful that it's realistic, even when realistically no one could survive it. Every noble is corrupt and evil. Every priest is burning every woman at the stake. The king is an inbred idiot narcissist that only takes advice from his horse. The entire kingdom is always collapsing and held up only by the writer's need for the setting to keep standing. It's the perfect kind of thing to add to my fantasy deconstruction because it shows how it really was back then. And by how it really was, I mean zero primary sources. Everything is a patchwork mess of historical low points mashed together into a cacophony
What
of
the
misery
fuck?
while ignoring all
No,
of the other parts
what
that
the
were
fuck?
actually working just fine. Yes, writing a deconstruction
Why did
about how
the
things
mushroom
really work
know
doesn't mean the
mushroom?
writer has to actually do the research. Never mind that one method for deconstructing something is to simply show how it works, not why it's bad. Taking apart an aspect of a story and showing its inner workings without a fireworks display of edgy grimdark? Why would I do that? If my story isn't a miserable edge fest full of gratuitous nudity, pointless glorified violence, and needless cynicism, then how can people even take it seriously? People don't enjoy good stories after all. They only enjoy watching everything they like about a story get torn to pieces in a storm of juvenile edgelord misanthropy. That will impress everyone with my vast intellect, even as the story and characters are put on the back burner so I can spend my time doodling berserk fan fiction in the corners of my middle school notebook. The completeness of the deconstruction to serve the story rather than as shock value? Why would I do that when I'm trying to exhaust the audience and not emotionally exhausted from the roller coaster of emotion? Rather, I'm trying to exhaust their patience from not having anyone left to root for. Besides, there are no good guys in real life either, so that means that there are only bad guys. Clearly being disconnected from reality is ideal when trying to deconstruct stories realistically. Remember to dismiss the idea that a successful deconstruction doesn't tear down a genre, but rather shows us an old genre or trope from a different perspective. Never use deconstruction as a starting point for inspiration, when I can instead use it point first to drive the final nail into the story's coffin. Never mind that deconstructing a story trope, character archetype, or genre is in fact a critical skill for a writer to develop, because critical thinking will only get in the way of my compulsive need to grandstand. Understanding how a trope would realistically work, being able to see the underlying workings just underneath the setting surface, seeing the hidden implications behind the nature of common used character
Don't waste my time.
knowing the ins and outs of the genre's convention as well as the different messages certain conventions may convey, both intentional and unintentional. Knowledge is the enemy. Be careful who you listen to. I mean, why would you trust someone who gave constant bad advice? Especially if they did it over 78 times. 79 if you count that one Star Wars video. Clearly someone like that wouldn't be trustworthy at all. Realistically, no one would listen to that person.
Drop!
Wait, oh no.
Shade!
Did I just deconstruct my
It's nothing. Submit.
Sometimes needed even for a powerful being such as me. But I have always known who I am. Power was always mine for the taking, because I am the Dark Lord. Well, if you're done with your monologue and suit upgrade, we need to get on with our planning. Yes, we need to settle on a name for our coalition. Now we also need to select either a flag or maybe a symbol, something that's easy to spray paint while keeping a solid brand identity. I keep saying, pamphlets. Everyone, focus. We can worry about branding later. We need to plan our opening move against greed now that the political situation...
I think Candace just gets in the way. Amber is, ironically enough, actually a really good... Huh? Oh, okay, let's take it now. Sure. Oh, I didn't do fucking Sarah's. Gotta take my meds. Cold meds.
So well last time. I'm with Tin Can here. If the Federation Space Force mobilizes, we can roll over Greed faster than you can say military-industrial complex. Greed has megacorps of gear, bottomless resources.
Yeah, strike!
Intelligence network, and highly efficient robot army on top.
You're in for a little shock. Come a little closer.
Let's dance!
You're in for a little shock. You've been a naughty boy. Try not to enjoy this.
You're toast!
Storm the front! Flash!
allows you to save time on researching charities to make sure your donation
Huh?
They provide free research and recommendations for charities.
Come a little closer.
Lives for the most $1. Oh, so you nearly destroyed the TWA expanded universe and now you're stuck doing a PR blitz. People have short memories, especially when the money comes rolling in. Besides, even you in the ancient conspiracy must recognize the value of knowledge. That's where GiveWell shines, as they have spent over 40,000
play
hours
it.
each year
Lisa
researching
again,
Ad Astra
release
Abbott.
decisions to recommend only the highest
Thank you for
impact evidence-based opportunities. Over 100,000 donors have used GiveWell to donate more than $1 billion. There is strong evidence that suggests these donations will save over 150,000 lives and improve the lives of millions more. What's more is using GiveWell's research is free. They only wish to aid as many donors as possible to make informed decisions, and they publish all of their research and recommendations for free. No sign-up required. Your tax-deductible donation will be allocated to charity or fund of your choice without taking a cut. You? Charity? You are the personification of greed. Why, I've already helped JP donate to the Against Malaria Foundation. Besides, malaria is bad and last I checked, mosquito netting is more effective at stopping it than organizational overhead. For those who have never donated to GiveWell before, they match donations up to $100 before the end of the year. So long as matching funds last.
I want to know how much
Make
of
up
the
matching
thingy
donation. Go to givewell.org
Quicken does for
/terrible
Lisa.
writing advice. That way they'll know you heard about GiveWell from TWA.
Or if Overload is still the best reaction for
Simply
her.
click the link in the description below. You see now? You're not going to beat me at the PR game. I will win over the neutral parties in the TWA expanded universe. It's only a matter of time.
We stick to my plan. Ramble incoherently while referring to yourself in the third person all the time. When I want to crush a bunch of upstart adventurers, I send down my lieutenants one or two at a time. I will send them to rally all of the remaining TWA factions under my banner. So you, Chain Arm Man, go and summon the forces of this Federation.
Welcome to Dungeon Craft. I'm Professor Dungeon Master. Once a month, I do a live stream for patrons. Last month, one of the patrons asked me if I thought Critical Role was a net advantage or disadvantage for the hobby.
There is no escape.
I posed this question.
This isn't right.
Oh!
Make yourselves at home.
What do you contribute?
I'll protect us. Time to go. Everyone hold hands. Shine down. Now you shall perish. There is no escape. Let's dance. La 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 la.
I made a supercut. 40 minutes of story suspense and great-looking models. And as always, thanks to the patrons for making this content possible. So let me start out by defending Critical Role a little bit. Let's talk about the Matt Mercer or Critical Role effect. Number of you think it's real, and it may be for you and your experience, but in my experience, I think the Critical Role effect has less of an effect than many people think. I was a teenager and in college, my friend Ralph always talked to me about this Game Master, Greg, who is the greatest Game Master of all time. And one of my other players had the occasion to game with Greg, and he confirmed it, that Greg was a superior Game Master to me. And these guys went all the way from Staten Island, where we live, to Queens just to play in this guy's game. Seth Gorkowski had a similar experience to this. It's one of my favorite videos, the story of Jeff, the greatest Game Master of all time. So this guy existed in all neighborhoods. Like, you heard about him. They were a local legend, a Game Master of such high skill that they were just
Illusion.
head and shoulders above you. The only difference between Greg, Jeff, and Matt Mercer
Share my knowledge.
to Twitch every week, so everyone can see him.
Inazuma shines eternal. There is no escape. I see everything. The Temple of Wisdom. Cross over. Shine down. Torn to oblivion.
It's already dead.
Significantly impact the game, and it's definitely brought in potentially millions of people into the hobby, but I think it's got a less of an impact than people imagine. The other criticism I read is that Critical Role is too into role-playing, but to me, a good game is a combination of combat and role-playing and problem-solving. It's about a balance, and I want players who get into their characters and do voices if they can. To me, that's exciting. It brings the characters to life, and it draws me into the story. And the final criticism is that it's all fake. True, they're cognizant that they are entertaining audience. But there's a mistake.
Ready, steady, go.
I'm a
everything.
I do enjoy the show for a number of reasons.
Higher, higher, pants on fire. Let the show begin. Grill, grill, grill.
There is no escape. Now you shall perish.
Just having read this book, it's the idea that the players don't see the dungeon. I read this example of a play where the game master is describing the players they can go east or west, and the mapper is asking, is that door in the north wall? And the master's like, yes, it is. And I'm thinking, why doesn't the player know that? You can see the door right here. When I first game mastered the game, I gave this map to the players. No one ever told me the map was supposed to be secret. If you read the rules, it's inferred, but it's mostly designed for people who've at least played Dungeons & Dragons one time before. And that wasn't me. I didn't have anyone who introduced me to the game. An older brother, an older friend who game mastered for me first. I never participated or saw a game of Dungeons & Dragons.
Shine down.
See?
They don't include one instead. They just have a little
Time to go. Share my knowledge.
Branded CR might not be everyone's experience what Dungeons & Dragons is, but the basic interplay where the game master narrates the action
Inazuma shines eternal.
that's easily grasped by anyone who gets one try. That makes the game work.
A minute to limit.
So much better. That is just a great game master. I know. I find that difficult to action training, and he's very good at descriptions. Very precise, the words are carefully chosen, and he doesn't go, that's a skill everyone can work on, and I always practice my descriptions before I deliver them. Matt's also more of an old school DM than a lot of people give him credit for. He tells a story of how he ran 3E without reading the rules, like they had just come out. His friends wanted a game, so he just said, roll a 20-sided die. You roll under your ability score and you do that thing. That is the main core mechanic for the Black
I
Hat.
wonder
So
when I'll be as
Matt
tall as
hacking
my...
the game before he ever read the rules. That's a very old school attitude. He has his own house rules. The players homebrew their own character classes, and Matt homebrews his own settings. These are all old school ideas. He's not just playing it out of the book. And I think that is a great model for new game masters to emulate. You don't have to use pre-designed worlds. You can build your own worlds, and you can modify the rules to fit your table and your players. And his players are great players. They are collaborators. They're not trying to win the game. They're polite. They don't interrupt one another, and they make decisions quickly. If players learn anything from Critical Role, it should be...
Okay.
how to make a decision quickly without talking over one another and yelling your opinions and getting into a 20-minute discussion about it. He recruits great players, including Ashley Johnson, who never played Dungeons & Dragons. Before Matt recruited her, he admired her acting skills and her creativity and her love of fantasy, so he drafted her into the game, and that's how I found some of my best players. Most of my players are women, and most of them have never played a role-playing game before I showed them how to play, so they don't come with any preconceptions. A number of people have asked me how to introduce their 5e players to an old-school game or my own Deathbringer game when they're so bleak. My response is, if your players don't want to play that game, you've got to go out and search for new players. Find creative people who aren't afraid of looking silly, who aren't that like fantasy, literature, and television shows, and bring them into your group. And finally, Critical Role brought tons of people into our hobby. Probably as many as 1 million people
This
have
is
been
an awful
introduced to Dungeons &
artifact.
Dragons through Critical Role, and if only 50,000
It has literally the
100,000
worst stats you could ever ask for Noel.
D&D role-playing game enthusiasts, then that would be a good thing.
I must
Those
keep
are the types
looking.
of people that eventually find their way into independently produced games or small boutique games like Call of Cthulhu and RuneQuest and so forth. And we need more people to play so we can expand the player base and expand that base of potential GMs that we're going to need in the future. The more voices in the chorus, the better the song. At least that's what I think. I'd love for you to join the conversation by adding your comments below. Also below, you'll find links to Dungeoncraft on Facebook, Patreon, where you can get bonus content, my Deathbringer and Eldritch old school games, and the Reviled Society videos. Thanks again to the patrons and the bonus cut. I'll tell you about the time I actually bumped into Matt Mercer at Gen Con. Until the next time, all your rolls, be quiet.
Deathbringer here, wishing you a happy and stealthy new year.
It's happy and healthy new year.
Step off, Mr. AC-10 Sweater. Now make a resolution to get my game at the link below, and we'll watch more Dungeon Craft.
La da 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 da.
Okay.
All the standing around is making me so sleepy.
I'll play a card game. Let's invite the last two characters. Yes, last two characters. I am not missing anyone.
Okay, let's go.
Oh boy.
Phantom Blood, Stardust Crusaders, Golden Wind, Georgiolian. Each of these parts have many strengths and weaknesses that differentiate them from each other. Whatever may be their action sequences, history, or building. Each of these parts are sort of isolated from each other during the storytelling. You will sometimes see crossovers, where overall stories are. One of the things about each of these is this: it's like when part 7 and 8 take up major pieces. And take more storytelling potential of the platform. Unique elements. Listing of these elements. See how similar and different they are in the original universe. The most obvious difference between the universes is the
We can do this!
in the original universe, stats are achieved in the use of a standard. Interstellar origins. You can buy a standard, consume a stand, only if you're worthy of getting one. They just die. Yourself also counts, however, just like As showcased with other foreign Josuke, anyone there that would trade also need a stand, as we're told. Someone else within the family would get hit last night. Steve Ballmer first incident, which defeated his dad. His dad's early life was over to see his corpse. So we're making part of the corpse, his dad was not solved. His corpse falling on a deal caused his dad to be lost. People to the corpse are also given to the biggest landmass called the Coach Pond. People survive his health conditions to receive his dad as well.
I'll protect us.
Please hit me. Thank
Swift
you.
and merciful.
They share the same names, and in a lot of cases, the stance of their ultimate counterparts. Their personalities and backstories are sometimes a lot different. Diego Rando, for example, is meant to be an alternate universe version of Neo. Despite being in different roles, they share common traits. Hating their fathers and loving their mothers. However, Diego's father wasn't Diego's with them all. Actually wanted to kill him when he was a child. While Diego's father was more or less putting his hopes and dreams on a new man. This group of women opportunities, Diego could have heart, feels similar to trees. They aspire to be greater and eventually love for hero communities in different ways, but they can reinforce recently, and the others taking in by the two stars. Now I think it's different versions, it's just sheer arrogance.
Leave it to me.
The talent to show for it. As it stands to their lesson.
I'm a rock.
Can't do anything anymore. Oh. Wait, how did he do that? Oh, it doesn't really matter.
Our friendship and teacher-student dynamic, cousin Ellie, both kind of have daddy issues, although one is more complicated than each other. Jonathan's father was a little more annoyed by his antics and phantom blood, while Johnny's was, well, it's complicated to say the least. Joestar also exists in both universes, but the one in John Williams, regardless of all, has battled against counterparts. In terms of family, only grandchildren are Jonathan. However, Joseph and Julian is part Japanese, compared to his mobile white counterpart. One element that exists between both of them, however, is their stand in the purple. They have the same function, but Julian possesses an actual stand body, potentially hinting at a deeper understanding of the stand. Chicago Keeper exists in Steel Ball versus
I will protect you.
somewhat strange, yet nothing in common. We all know, since their stands, to the unfinished things, no one
I must leave no stone unturned.
to start this world, which typically means individuals will control this world as well. Its ability is slightly changed.
I could use Barbara's weakness to my advantage if I'm careful enough.
The true domination or attacks of various sizes that explode mission targets.
That is indeed what I am going. That is indeed the plan.
They seem to say they have unfortunately, his large haircut,
Leave it all to me.
all you want to doesn't exist in the universe. Because other alternate characters, Speedwagon exist in Steel Ball.
Idiot.
This is the Speedwagon Foundation.
I couldn't be luckier. How did I already get my Noel fully set up?
Another ally to the Joe Stars is the Zappelli family. Stu Baldwin portrays them as an ancient family of executioners. Resistance and never dropped it. General Zappelli was next in line to take over the business. The Zappellis and original members come from a prestigious background. They were significant.
Alright, be honest with anything, I guess.
Speaking of Zappelli, let's take a look at their mastery over the forces of Palmon. One of our ancient techniques used for a variety of purposes. Palmon is a sort of life energy that mimics the characteristics of sunlight. It's used for healing purposes, but it's also highly effective against the undead or supernatural. Being a kind of life energy allows it to shorten aging, changes the attributes of objects. It's a medical technique used for execution purposes, and it basically uses the concept of rotation. Its goal. Spin's rotation can be
At
used
1,
to almost anything, which results
3,
in other things. Rotation is useful beyond its intended purposes. The gyro has used it in creative
5,
ways.
7.
Combat. Palmon and Spin are
Alright, I'll wait for Barbara.
purposes. Usually manifested as medical techniques, they later developed to do much more than that. Specifically attributes used for combat and other tasks. Zappelli families is a source of information. These accomplishments
I think he's definitely gonna do that, so I would like to minimize my damage. Or actually, I can just kill him.
Leave it all to me.
The Scourge of Evil. My card. It's gone.
Leave it to me.
Heh.
Scratch that.
One thing that all these factions have in common is the sunlight, which kills them almost instantly. Steel Ball Running Force doesn't have ability for vampires. They instead
Alright,
have
let's see what he does.
rock humans are crystalline.
Wish me luck.
Some resemble humans in every way. Unlike humans, rock humans don't really show love or empathy to each other. Maybe it took a while to survive. Rock humans survive hard conditions that usually pot cold, like transporting into large rocks. Sleep cycles and the world are different. As they sleep every months and holes in
Alright, Barbara doesn't really matter anymore since he can't do any more elemental reactions. There's actually no need for this anymore.
Let's dance.
Its function is equivalent exchange. Once you eat it, you can destroy anything you've lost. Whether it be a sense or a body part. You'll be replaced by a rock-like version. However, Rokaka will then take something you never
Leave it to me.
Let's annoy him.
Shake and stir.
Lost body parts from a stolen version. Instead, takes the related parts from someone else. Gives it to another person related to. For instance, a plethora of other forces. Each having one contains of its own.
I will protect you.
Whether you're working with a person or universe, you know what? Be the each part has its own strengths and weaknesses. Gives each of them a special name.
I win. In 6 rounds too, so that's good. Kaboom.
As a good knight should.
Oh, Lupica! I lose a lot.
I summon thee!
Mein Fräulein.
Yes! This team actually kinda works.
Card game. So hard.
Money? Rabbit. Alright, let's get Sino.
Then let us begin.
Right, I don't want to risk. So, a rush down team is too easy. I want to try the Stormy Weather team next. I think
Then let us begin.
I think this is the next deck I want to work on. It could certainly still be stronger, I think. Let's see what they have. Official? Ah. Right. Yeah, this deck kinda sucks. It wants the energy, well as the resources, but does not have enough to actually fulfill such desires. China knife might actually be useful. I already have too many location cards. Yeah, let's go for this. I could try more food. Although apart from Fischl, this I don't think I really need the energy that much, don't I? Honestly.
Then let us begin.
Goody. I seem to like drawing foods.
The threads of your fate lie in my hands.
Fucking hell.
You stand condemned!
Well, what can I do? Apart from setup. Murder me.
Nowhere to run!
Now they're not giving me cryo when I actually want it. Fun. I guess I can spread it.
Oz, reveal thyself!
Nowhere to run!
Poor Fischl. Oh. Fantastic.
I can do it. Absorption test.
Oh.
As per our
This is
contract.
Good.
Huh?
Alright, well, he got rid of his Electro.
I can do it.
Why did that only cost one die? Jeez. May as well. Of course. This is fine. Okay, this is good.
Stand clear.
Futile!
Alright, it's gonna end his turn. Alright, Sephiroth can die. Or he can live, or she. Use me pronouns. I don't know why I always get her gender confused.
Enhanced Animal Module 75.
In death! A new judgment call. Get back!
As per our contract.
Do your worst.
Get back!
Ow.
Don't get cocky.
Alright, I forgot I had the bow.
Take me back. Oh.
Epic. I guess it's a decent enough team, but
It's not like me to make mistakes like this.
I do believe 2 Cryo will still be better, huh? If I want to focus on piercing. But I don't just want to copy Toryu's playstyle. I'll make my own playstyle and show him what for. I really don't need this. I'll try upping up the survivability a bit. Need some more food. This thing. Alright, I'll do one more game in the hard difficulty and that's it. I'll fight Barbara. Let's spit on her face with the Rushdown team, actually.
I don't know much about this game, but I'll do my best. I don't know much about...
A freezing stall setup.
In the name of the Prinzessin!
No rest for the wicked.
Let's dance! Trainee Forest Ranger Kale, reporting. Fly! exiles into destiny. In the name of the Prinzessin.
What would she gain from having done that?
No rest for the wicked.
Let me scry. I'll ensure your safety. Polinamba, help! The stars! Not good!
Freeze!
Is he gonna physical attack kill my Cole? Just barely. Close, but no cigar. Oh, never mind.
No! Not like this. Okay! Keep it up, Barbara!
Mudada.
Mirror the myriad.
Dodge this!
The threads of your fate lie in my hands.
Okay. I'm pretty sure she's just gonna heal. She's committed to that strategy. Hard read.
Let the show begin.
That'll be her downfall. Her chaos dead. What was she thinking?
This doesn't look good.
Hang on! There's always hope!
No, for you there is only death. Utter defeat. Can't wait to fight Temmie. He's the only one worthy.
Midnight Phantasmagoria.
I feel a little weak. I couldn't save this one.
Yeah. Let's go buy some more. Stuff. Oh, have I actually already bought everything? Poggers. Now I have everyone, except Chong Yu, but who cares about him? Very epic. This makes me want to make new decks.